Today's video is sponsored by Kasubaris. Kasubaris has sponsored my videos in the past, and this is the second time they have given me an airbrush system to try out and promote and tell you guys about. And I am happy to say that I have been very pleased with both airbrushes. This one is a portable corded airbrush, and it has rechargeable batteries, and it's fantastic. I will have a discount code for you, 20% discount code for you. And there's already a discount on Amazon for 20%. So that's a total of 40% off for you guys. You need to go check it out. And I will have all my codes on Monday. I know this video is going up on Sunday, but if you check back tomorrow, I will have all the codes linked for you if you are in the market for an airbrush. This is, seriously, these are the best airbrushes I have ever used. I couldn't recommend them more. So come back and get yourself one.
Hey guys, this is Mary from Sophisticates by Mary coming to you with a very exciting announcement. As you could tell by the thumbnail and the title of this video, something cool has happened. I got my silver play button. I'm so excited. So instead of making a big unboxing of it, I mean, you don't need to see the little letter that comes with it and all that, but you do need to see the plaque. This came a few weeks ago. I can't get it out of the box. But I was on vacation. I went on vacation right after I got it, and I didn't have time to do my video for this like I wanted to, because I've had an idea. Well, I would say I've had an idea, but oh no, I'm getting scuffs on it. Anyway, my husband had an idea around Christmas time. I was trying to, brainstorm, come up with some ideas of some cool new things to do, and he came up with the idea. And he's not the only one who came up with this idea. So disclaimer, I know I'm not the only one to have done this, but he said, why don't you get on AI and search cakes in the style of Sophisticates by Mary and see what comes up. There might be some cool stuff. So we did. We kind of started playing around with it, and we didn't get a whole lot of cool things. And I kind of wanted to wait till I got to 100K so I would have a cool video for my 100K subscribers video. And in the meantime, I know that Lori from Icing Artist did this also, and not saying anybody took anybody's idea, had them at the same time. So I'm going to suggest you go over to her channel and see what she did, because she did some pretty cool things. I think she's done 2 of them actually now. I think she's done 2. Mine's gonna be a little different, obviously, because it's in the style of Sophisticates by Mary. And yeah, so it's a little different. I used a different AI generator. I found one that I really liked. It's Night Studio. I will show you. I'm going to show you where I did it, the ideas it came up with, and some really cool things. But it came up with a lot of ideas. So I narrowed it down to 15. Yes, narrowed it down to 15. And then while we were on vacation, I had my family vote which one was their favorite, and then that's the one I'm going to do. So anyway, I'll get to that. I'll show you how I did that, but for now, ready for it? Ta-da! It's so cool. So I want to say a huge thank you to everybody that subscribed, because obviously without you, this wouldn't have happened. So here's the plaque. You'll see it behind me from here on out. Yeah, I think this is something that needs to be celebrated and displayed. So there you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Now I'm going to bring you down here, and I'm going to show you how I did my search and some of the ideas it came up with, and how you can do the same thing. What you do is you Google search. It's called Night Cafe. I don't know how to get this here. Night Cafe. Get on their actual app, not the sponsored one. Night Cafe. And you can see here, where is it? You can go down. This is a free app too, which I like. And I have some credits. So you go to Start Creating, or Create down there. And you put in your keywords. So I did create a cake, or let's do a tall, moody, because I want to do moody colors, moody cake with, let's say, texture and flowers, silver because of the silver play button. I wanted silver in there. With silver in the style of Sophisticakes by Mary. Then you just push the create button. I'm hoping you can see this. And it's running. Let's see what they created. Isn't that cool? So it created a bunch for me, and I will go through and show you, done, all of the things that it came up with for me. Get rid of this. I mean, look at that. Look at all these cakes it came up with. I have a feeling you're gonna see this from my screen on my phone. You can see it a little bit better. See, when you do free apps, you have to deal with the pop-ups. But so I had a ton of these. I did moody colors. I did one bright, and it was too bright, so we didn't go with that. So the one that everybody voted on is, can you guess? Can you guess? That one. So this is the cake that I'm going to create. I'm going to create this as best I can. I'm going to try to get it as exact as I can. So let's get started with this and see what we come up with. So here we go. Ready?
All right, so here we go. I already have my cakes coated with dark chocolate ganache, and I just find that that's a really good solid base. Since we're going to be putting some pressure on these cakes with this texture, I wanted to have that solid base. This could be done with buttercream as well, if you're chilling it especially, but this is what we did this time. And what I'm doing to create this texture is I am just using your shelf liner, the grippy pads that you can get. I was trying to figure out how I was going to get the texture that I see in the picture. And with a couple days of thought, I thought, yeah, those pads, the liners have basically that texture. So I'm just going to use a clean one, press it into my fondant, and then I wrinkled up some aluminum foil to give another level of texture. And that's what I used in all my fondant for the texture. And I need to make some flowers or figure out what I'm going to do with my flowers for this, because it's really kind of a fantasy cake. This is not necessarily, flora and fauna, or not fauna, but flora that you see everywhere. So some of them can be kind of figured out, and some of them I had to kind of make up. So that one I did first, that was just leaves, and I needed a dark blue one. So I just used those leaves and I wrapped them around a wire, a floral wire with some floral tape. And here's the airbrush. This is the way it comes. And these are the parts you get. This is the main motor part. I don't know what it's technically called, but I'm gonna call it motor part. And these are your batteries. You get 2 of them. And here's your airbrush. And it has a container on top with a lid that comes in very handy, so you're not throwing your airbrush color all over the place. And there's your cord. And now one end connects into your airbrush. You just twist it on. Get it nice and tight. And then the other end connects into the bottom of your airbrush. And again, get it nice and tight. And take the lid off of the tip of there. You don't need that. It's not gonna work with it. And you take your charged batteries and you just pop them in the bottom. Now I have one charged and one while I'm using the other one. And the charge on these lasts a very long time. And here I'm using those leaves that I just wrapped together around a floral wire. And I used, what did I use? I think I used a blue with a little bit of a black. This is airbrush colors. And then I used a pearl pearl sheen on top of that to get that kind of deep blue sheen color. I set that aside to dry, and I'm just putting my bubble tea straws for support on the bottom tier. I didn't show you the top tier putting it together, but it was exactly the same as the bottom tier. This video is already going to be long enough. You don't really need to see me do both. I think you get the idea. And I had my top tier chilled in the refrigerator for a good 20 minutes so I can just lift it up and place it on top. And I had used a combination of buttercream and ganache mixed together to put in between the tiers to get them to stick. I had stuck them. What I am doing here is I am attempting to protect my board and my turntable from the airbrush color, which you'll see in the end didn't matter. I ended up having to clean it up a little bit, but at least I tried, and sometimes it does work. And what I'm doing, I am attempting to get that textured look with the airbrush. Now, this was trial and error. What I thought I would do is apply some and then blot it off of the surface and hope that some of it stuck into the crevices. I'm blotting with just some Everclear, and in hindsight, I think it would have worked better because I figured out as I was going, if I held the airbrush at an angle to the side, it would touch the high points of the texture, and it would have worked better if I had gone over it like I did, removed it from the surface, and had the airbrush color in the crevices and the deep parts, and then went back over it and held the airbrush at an, to the side so that it's kind of just going over the high points, because that would have emphasized the crevices and the tops of the texture. So, you know what, we learn as we go. I think it still turned out good, but in the end, the colors might not have merged together so much, and because I did have a little muddy spot where I put, what did I put there? I put no, I didn't put anything there. I wanted to put the 100K there to kind of hide that spot, but it was too big to be put on the side there. So you still kind of see it, but I think it still looked good. But yeah, I should have practiced on the back. That's what I should have done. Because, this fantastical look that you get with the AI, nobody's done this before. So part of the challenge was figuring out how to do it. And if I could give it a second go, I would have done it that way. But that's okay. And I went in with some orange, just a little bit of orange to kind of give it that goldy look. But because at first I thought it was gold, but then I looked at it closer and it was orange. So I did a little bit of orange and then a little pink. And this kind of reminds me of the Galaxy cakes. The application with the Galaxy cakes, because you want to make sure that your colors aren't running together too much, because you might get a tertiary color that you're not necessarily going for, unless that is what you're going for and you have that planned out ahead of time. That works too. And then as I was looking at the picture again, at the bottom of the bottom tier, it looked like there was a little hint of green in with that deep blue color. So I went in with a green and then went back over it with blue. I used a mixture of it's kind of a sky blue, and a deeper navy blue. This was a lot of mixing of my colors, to be honest. It would be hard to replicate this again. Thank goodness I don't have to. I've done it once, and I don't have to do it again. And I went over the entire thing with a pearl sheen airbrush color, because I had done luminescence in the description for the cake when I was trying to come up with the designs. And you can't really get that a holographic look with airbrush color. I don't know where you would. So I had to use a pearl sheen. And I think that worked out pretty good. Not exact, but it's as close as I'm gonna get, because it muted the colors and it gave it that kind of a pearly look at the same time. And I did end up having to get a few silk flowers for this cake. And then I did make some. I didn't show that because it's basically how you make a sugar rose. And I've done that a lot lately. And because I just couldn't find, they're probably out of season. So I couldn't find any silk flowers in that mint color. So I did make those. But recently I've been doing a lot of sugar flowers. And if you look back on past videos, I'll try to add a link in here on how to make those flowers. They were inspired by roses with a little bit of yeah, just a different texture to them a little bit. But basically, a sugar rose would do the trick. And I plopped, that's a good word, the blue that I had airbrushed earlier, those leaves. If you compare the pictures, you can kind of see where I came up with and the placement and how I had to use some things in a different way. Some of the flowers I could not find, like those right there, I just had it in my hand, the deep midnight blue ones. Those, I'm not sure what kind of a flower that would be, but I had something in mind. I know I've seen them, but it might be another case of they're out of season. So I just used these are dried flowers that I wrap the stems with floral wire or floral tape. And then I just use a piece of floral wire hooked into a U shape to hook that to the side. If you're doing this for an order, just make sure that you tell your customers what is real and what is not. That just keeps everybody safe. That way they know what to remove before they serve it. And I'm just honestly just following the picture and trying to place the flowers that were the closest I could come up with to what AI came up with in the right places. There's some white filler flowers also, which are not fresh. Those are silk. So baby's breath, I know, not edible. They are not fresh. And then I bought these mirrored silver topper and thank you to put on, and I will add a link of where I got that on Etsy also. And here is my video. Oh, you can see me in the 100K. Ignore that. I'm in the reflection there. So there you can see the whole thing, and here you can see them side by side. Not exact replica. I wouldn't say they're sisters, but they're cousins. I hope you liked it, guys, and be on the lookout for, there's another one that I did film, and it is honestly the one that I hoped everybody would vote for, but only one person did. So again, thank you so much. I love you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch my video. And if you'd like to watch some other videos, go ahead and click on the link to one of these other videos shown here. And if you would like to check out my other social media, I am on Facebook and Instagram under the same name, Sophisticakes by Mary. And please take the time to share, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you know when I upload another video. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next tutorial.